So, real story, true story. I posted a video about the importance of marrying for the future. And in that video, if you haven't watched it, please let it be the next thing you are watching after this video. In that video, I spoke about the importance of women choosing men who are ready or who have the patterns and potential of making the marriage work beyond the now. So you may see a man that may quite not look like it right now, but do not pick because of his now, but pick because of the future. I'm not going to repeat all I said in the video, but Marry for the Future is a video that you should definitely watch and learn the rights. We also speak about the right kind of traits, the right kind of features, and the things you should be looking out for when choosing or accepting a marital partner, especially as a successful single woman. And then I got a question, very interesting question. Like, hey, Signal, I hear you. Thank you very much. Okay, this is not how the person said it. I'm just paraphrasing. But the person was saying, what if you marry for the future or you choose to start dating for the future? You get into a relationship with this person for the future. Or maybe you've even gotten into marriage. So I'll speak about context, relationship, marriage, and said no, e just look like say dis future no dey come. Dis future we've been there 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years waiting. Dis future is not manifesting. What do we do? What do we do in such instance? Okay, that's why I created dis video, so that we can solve dis problem. So what do you do when the potential of your future husband is either not manifesting yet, or it's just taking a lot of time to manifest, like it's manifesting slowly. Just come be like say everything just dey drag. Wetin? What do you do? First of all, take a deep breath. But I want to say that it is important that there's conviction that you both are right for each other. This is not even a matter of that is right for you. No, there's conviction that you both are right for each other. That's the first thing first. In fact, that's the first thing to do that I didn't necessarily pen down here, but it's the most important. So there's no need to be marrying or to be fighting for any future when you both are not supposed to be in each other's presence. If you did not get that, rewind that again. Okay, let me help you. There's no need to be fighting or be building for a future when you both are not even supposed to be in each other's presence. And when I mean by that, I mean you both are not even you're not even meant for each other. So there should be no future, present or past or future you should be building. So you want to get that so that it doesn't end in premium hurts. The first thing to think about is and to do. So what do you do? Build the vision together. Find ways that you can build it together. Sometimes a person may be slow in manifesting certain aspects of their vision because they don't know what to do regarding that aspect, or they don't know how to do it. Maybe not what to do, maybe how to go about it in the best way possible in this season. I hope you know that visions can be lived out or can be manifested in different ways in different seasons. I hope that you know that. I'm not going to get into that. So, if for instance, a person who has been called to sing, maybe in a particular season, the person may just be going around singing at churches, concerts, conferences, schools. Maybe that's what the person is called to do in a particular season. In a different season, the person may just need to be we just need to be releasing singles, just be releasing singles every week and be putting it out there on the internet. In another season, the person may need to be releasing albums. In another season, the person may need to be collaborating. In another season, the person may just need to be writing songs. I just gave an example of a person who has a vision and a calling for music, how it can be cascaded and divided into different seasons. So if you don't even understand that life is in seasons, you're going to be frustrated. And this is outside of your future husband. I'm talking about that life is in seasons generally. So that's first things first. You've got to understand and you've got to build your vision together, understand that life is in seasons, and find ways that you can build it together. You don't have to be in the same industry. So don't say, oh, me, I'm not an artist or I'm a chemical engineer. I go take how we go do am now. what am I going to do? No, you have to find ways. If you both have been called to each other in terms of building a family, then where there is a will, there is a way. You're going to find ways to make it work. So find how you can build the vision together, rather than saying, rather than leaving the person alone and saying, you'll be building now, should you promised us this, you say you'll do this, you do. And this even applies even if you are on the relation in the relationship, on the journey to meeting your husband, or on the journey to getting married. Of course, this is not for this particular video, especially is not for, like, it's not for a person that is not in a relationship. We're talking to you. You're in a committed relationship and you're on a journey to meeting your husband, or you're even in the early stages of marriages. Of marriage, rather, this works for you. The second point is stop comparing. I know it's easier said than done, but at every point in time, we have all found ourselves comparing ourselves with one another, which the Bible even says is not wise. If you're a person who lives by the word of God. But it's important to understand that you've got to stop comparing. And what should you stop comparing? Stop comparing your life to other people. Even if you want to compare, start comparing what God says about your life versus what is manifesting in your life, or where you are coming from in your life versus where you are currently. And when I even say start comparing what God says versus what's manifesting, understand that it's going to be a process. So don't say, God, this is what I've given to me, this is revelation. Now, wow, it's not even coming to pass. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you should compare it in a complaining way, but in a way that even pushes you further to say, you know what? Wow, I can do this. So in fact, that should push you when you compare. I don't compare is not really the word I want to use. When you anchor your life on the right standards and with the right metrics, you are actually going to be motivated to do more and to do better than coming from a place of defeat. When you compare your life with other people, you don't even know the process, you don't know anything compared to what God has said to you and all that. You will just be coming from a place of defeat, like, hey, see this person, oh, this person just has this. See how this person is living their life. See how this person is being celebrated. See how this person has all this money. See how this person is traveling. You're going to keep going on and on and on, but you are not going to. Oh my husband, he just said something. Anyways, but you are just going to. You're not going to be able to move forward from a healthy space. You know, you can see something and say, this person got $1 million. Let's go. And you can be motivated, but it will not be from a healthy space. And I'm even going to go further to say it's not going to be from a sustainable space, because you just be motivated because this person made $1 million. So what will happen is when you have made $1 million more than that person that you were comparing yourself with, when that person doesn't make $1 million more than you won't be motivated to do anything differently. You'll be stuck on your maybe $2 million that you've made, and you'll be feeling fly. Perhaps if you were to anchor yourself with the potential of what God sees about you and says about you, and you know that it is a $10 billion deal, then you're going to be motivated in the right way, and you're going to anchor yourself with the right matrix, and you're going to step forward in the right decisions, making the right decisions. So make sure to stop comparing yourself. It is just what it is, and put into practice the other things I've said in replacing comparison. The third point is have realistic matrix for measuring in line with your context. Your context is different from every other person's context, and the way you grew up, the kind of funds you currently have available to you, blah, blah, blah. We can go on and on and on, is different. And this is not to make yourself feel less. This is not to make yourself feel like, hey, this person is a king. He grew up in the palace. So I don't even know. God will just be helping us. We'll just be managing. That's not what I'm saying. That you should not reduce your potential because one person has more money available to them. Check point number two to get the right kind of motivation. But having realistic metrics is what I'm saying is be realistic about where you are currently, your current season in your life, where you're coming from, and how you can get to where you are going to. The thing that makes people frustrated with this potential thing not manifesting is when they're not even realistic with where they are coming from, where they are, and then how you can get to where you are coming from, where they are, doesn't mean you will not get somewhere better. It just means you are acknowledging the things that are currently it could be a constraint and also a blessing to your journey as well. And then you are using it to work these things out. You're using it to work out the plans and the vision that you have received from God. So that is important. The fourth point is build with joy and patience. Build with joy and patience. That cannot be overemphasized. You cannot, no matter whether you are big, you are currently listening to this and you're at the place of your life, you're like, "Ah, all is well, all things are good." Or you're at a place where you're just wondering, "Ah, will I ever make it to the finish line?" I mean, finish line in terms of will you ever see the manifestation of the things that God have said in your life? Yes, you will, but you've got to build with joy and patience. Like it's something that you have to train yourself in, and it's something that you have to carry along over and over again every day of your life. Okay, so if you don't build with joy and patience, you are always going to be miserable, and you're not going to build that vision in the way that God wants it, because there are some things it needs to work out in you as well. I know that you think that, yeah, you're like the only thing that is available, only person available, and the best thing that has happened to that vision, and it's a good esteem to have. But you also have to understand that beyond how you think of yourself, there are many things that God is still working on you that you're not even aware of. So I want you to build to understand that, and use that patience when waiting through those seasons, and then build with joy. And then finally, deal with greed and impatience. Deal with greed and impatience. We all have roles that we have been called here to play on earth. Part of the roles is that some people are going to become presidents, some people are going to become kings, some people are going to become ministers, some people are going to lead at particular levels that are popular, and some people are going to lead at particular levels that are unpopular. So, for instance, everybody in the world is not going to become the president of a nation. It's not possible. I don't want to say it's not possible, because I really always live from a place of possibility because of the God that I serve. But what I'm going to say, what I meant to say is that is not the plan. And so, because you are not going to become a president in your lifetime, doesn't mean that you are a failure. Go and find out what you're supposed to become the president of, what the thing God has called you to be. Are you supposed to be the prophet to the president? Are you supposed to be the chef to the president? Are you supposed to be the lawyer to the president? Are you supposed to be the therapist to the president? We all have roles. Are you supposed to be the special advisor, the financial advisor? They can go on and on. We all have roles that we have been called. The media aid, the examples are endless. And I'm just using the president's example is just an example that I know will stick and will resonate. Or a king, if you're listening to this and you operate like a kingdom system where you are coming from, or in the place where you currently live. I'm saying all this to say that, or I use this example because many times people deal with greed. They want to step into roles that God has not created for them. Like when you were formed in your mother's womb, just like God still told Jeremiah, I already called you to become a prophet. If God did not call you to become a prophet, God did not call you to become a prophet in that sense. Now you want to force it. If you've not been called to become a chef, you can't become a chef. It just doesn't work that way. And so we can go on and on and on with examples. But if you have not come to the maturity and understanding that we all have different roles, some roles will be more visible than others. Yes, is the truth. But it doesn't mean that it's more important or less important. And that is identity talk. Understanding that my role has been orchestrated by God, and it was very the word I'm looking for is it was very particular. It was very I can't that word that I need right now is not coming to me. Intentional. Yes, thank you, God. It was very intentional when He created me for the particular role that I'm here to serve on earth. It just gives you peace. Some people are going to become musicians to the president, and we can go on and on and on. So when you have greed, you start wanting to be things that you've not even been called to be. So there's a difference to aspiring for being at the top. So we all should have that zeal and hunger to be at the top, to reach our life's peak, like I would say it. But there's a difference for there's just sheer greed of just wanting to become who God has not called you to become. And I want you to know the difference, distinguish the difference, so that you are able to walk and walk out your life from a place of peace. I'm sure that you are hearing the rains now, and I'm excited that we have come to the end of this particular recording. I mean, these things happen. I'm actually glad that the weather changed while I was doing this video. It just helps me understand that, this is life, and things like this help us to appreciate life. For some other people, some other creators are all about things always being perfect, the lightings and all that. And we started that way. But like, hey, we started recording, it was raining, and it wasn't raining, and now it's raining. Anyways, I'm Sage Nell. I help you meet and marry your husband, and I help successful women meet and marry their husband. I help men also as well meet and marry their wives. Ultimately, I help you meet and marry your partner. So if you're on the journey to getting married, I'm the right person to work with. Please check the description to see ways that you can work with me and also get resources that will be helpful on the journey to meeting your husband and your wife if you're a male watching this. Do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to share your comments, and do not forget to share this video with at least 2 people. I'll see you in my next video. Check out previous videos you have missed.